Just mute the original audio.
I beg your
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes. All right, let's get started. Excuse me. Court calls the case of State of Texas versus Jacinto Holguin, cause number 2018-0C06090. This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus. May I have announcement of counsel?
Daniel Alejandro Morales for the state of Texas, Your Honor. We're ready to proceed.
Ana Yelda with the El Paso County Public Defender Office here on behalf of Mr. Jacinto Holguin Maldonado, also ready.
You are Jacinto Holguin.
Así es, a sus órdenes.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear or affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Así es.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. What do you have, Ms. Yaldo?
Thank you, Judge. This is Mr. Jacinto Holguin Maldonado. Mr. Holguin is 56 years old. He's been in the jail for the past 8 days. His current bond amount, Your Honor, is $3,500 cash surety. He does have access to up to $500. I did confirm this with his cousin and roommate on March 14th. Mr. Holguin Maldonado currently doesn't have any status in the U.S. He does have, I believe he has an ICE hold. And I've explained to him what that means as far as if he's bonded out today, what ICE can do afterward. He's been in the U.S. Most recently for 1 year. As far as education and work, Your Honor, he went up to the 6th grade in Mexico. He is self-employed doing landscaping, and he makes about $1,000 a month, and he's been doing that for the past 5 months. He does have 2 children. They're both adults, and they both live in Mexico. If he were to be released, he would live with his cousin, Manuel Varela, at 300 Salaya Way in Socorro, Texas, 79927. I myself confirmed this with Mr. Varela on the 14th. I called him to make sure that Mr. Holguin can go back to live at that address. As far as criminal history, Your Honor, I believe this is his only charge. It's a DWI from a few years back. I don't believe he has any other history in the US or in Mexico. At this time, we're asking either for a PR bond or to reduce to whatever the court sees appropriate. I did just want to address, now, I don't have any proof, right, as far as paperwork or documentation, but I take Mr. Holguin at his word. The reason why he missed his last court hearing, he advised me he was deported shortly after he was arrested. And so he advised me that officers took him to the bridge and he crossed back into Mexico. That's why he was unable to make it to his hearing back in 2018. If he's released and stays in the US, he has assured me that he will attend all court hearings. Thank you, Judge.
So is there an ICE hold?
There should be. There at least was one over the weekend. One of my colleagues handled his 48-hour bond hearing in front of Judge Ayun, and they advised that there is an ICE hold.
Okay, then I don't see the point of reducing his bond because he'll be deported and unable to show up to the hearing again.
And I did advise him of that, that if because he's been deported once already, and because he's undocumented, it's very likely it'll happen again.
Right. And do you have anything, Mr. Morales?
No, Judge, I think that was my only concern, and I think Ms. Yaldo answered that for me. So,
Yes.
Your Honor, if I may, if Mr. Holguin is not released, would the state be willing to time serve him on this DWI? Again, it's his only charge, and he's been in for some time. So I guess I'm asking Mr. Morales.
I'd be open to considering that. Yes.
Okay, I'll follow up with you then, Mr. Morales, and then I'll follow up with Mr. Holguin if he doesn't bond out in the next couple of days.
Okay.
Okay, for now, I'm going to deny it. If it turns out that he no longer has the ICE hold, please contact the court and we'll address it again.
Of course, Judge. Thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
May I have Donovan Peterson, please?
Your Honor, for Mr. Peterson, I would like Ms. Kohler on.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Peterson, a satisfied repeat customer.
We have some information about that. That's why I wanted Ms. Kohler on.
Is that the only person we need an interpreter for?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes, Glenn? Okay.
Yes, Judge, that's it, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Cifuentes.
Bye, Mr.
Court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Donovan Peterson, cause numbers 2023-0C0-1615, 2022-0C0-6089, and 2023 P file 01510.
This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus.
May I have announcement of counsel?
Daniel Alejandro Morales for the state of Texas, Your Honor. We're ready to proceed.
Good morning, everyone. Ana Yaldo with the El Paso County Public Defender Office here on behalf of Mr. Donovan Peterson, also ready.
You are Donovan Peterson?
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear affirm testimony may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Yaldo.
Thank you so much, Judge. Judge, this is not our first time before you on Mr. Peterson's cases. I have quite a bit of information to present today, as well as I have
We cannot
discussed.
hear, Your Honor.
I beg your pardon?
We cannot hear her this side.
Do you have it on the English channel?
Can you hear it now?
Yeah, that's good right now.
There you go.
Your Honor, this is not the first time we've been in front of you on Mr. Peterson's cases.
I know that, Ms. Yaldo.
So we do have some new information for the court today. I did discuss a couple of things with Mr. Morales yesterday. I'm hoping that we have an answer today. But first and foremost, the reason why I wanted Ms. Kohler on is so that we can explain what happened with the VA transport and how it was not Mr. Peterson's fault whatsoever. And so the plan before was that there was specific language that was included in the bond order, and he was to go to the VA, basically their homeless shelter. And someone from the VA was actually supposed to transport him from, I believe at the time, either the jail or the annex, wherever it was. Ms. Kohler knows a little bit more about the situation and what happened, so I'll pass it on to her if that's okay with you, Your Honor, so she can explain to the court what happened and how that was not Mr. Peterson's fault.
Very briefly, please.
Of course.
Hi, good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Yeah, so last time Mr. Peterson was released, I
We
had
cannot
been
hear, Your
working.
Honor.
Go ahead, Ms. Kohler.
Can you hear me now? No?
She might need to be
Are
on the.
you on the English channel, Ms. Kohler?
Oh, no, how do I do that? I'm sorry.
There should be
Okay,
an
there we go.
interpretation.
Does that
icon.
work?
Okay.
Good. Okay, sorry about that. So like I was saying, last time Mr. Peterson was released, I had been working with the social worker at the VA. They have a rideshare system through Lyft where they can order a transport for homeless clients from the jail directly to the VA intake center. So apparently what happened last time was the phone number listed for the VA contact, the jail was trying to call when he was getting processed out, and just nobody was answering. And so I think the jail, after trying multiple times, they ended up just releasing him to the streets.
And
Okay,
so-
how does that explain the new offense?
So one of the reasons, so Mr. Peterson doesn't have anywhere to go. The new offense, the criminal trespasses are happening at the CW is the El Paso Housing Authority.
Yes,
His
I'm
par-
aware of all of this, Miss Yaldo.
His partner stays at a house owned by the El Paso Housing Authority. That's the only place that he was able to go when he was released to the streets. So
I believe the bond order instructed him not to go there.
that's correct, Your Honor. We're just trying to explain kind of what happened. It wasn't entirely his fault when he was released to the streets. That wasn't the plan.
I understand that, but that's not the cause for the new offense.
So, Your Honor, what I discussed with Mr. Morales is Mr. Peterson would be willing to plead to these two criminal trespasses. The P file burglary of vehicle, I'm not sure what's happening with that. The state still has it. So what we were going to ask for, and Mr. Peterson is on board with this, is plead to those two criminal trespasses and then come before Your Honor next week to see if you would be willing to grant the PR bond on the burglary of vehicle after he pleads to the criminal trespasses, and we will try the VA transport again. Ms. Kohler was able to successfully do one a few days back. She was actually the liaison with the VA, so the jail called her and then she called the VA to arrange transport. So that is what we'd like to do. I'm not asking for a bond today, but rather in 1 week, if the court would be willing to accept and Mr. Morales would be willing to offer pleas on the criminal trespasses.
Mr. Morales, does that sound good to you?
Yes, it does, Your Honor.
And what'll happen with the BOV?
The BOV should still be filed. I understand that my office has been trying to go ahead and organize itself on the intake side to hopefully have fewer delays in our pre-file cases and make sure that they arrive before us.
Do you have a complaint information on the BOV?
One moment, Your Honor, I'm bringing that up right now. The portal is still acting a bit sluggish from the past couple of days, Your Honor. But I do see that the case is within my office and there is a note saying that the case has been accepted, is just pending processing.
Okay, so you should have the complaint affidavit.
Yes, I'm just going through to bring it up at the moment. Is there anything in particular Your Honor would like to know?
No, once we do the bond reduction, I'll need to know the facts.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we will reset this matter for next week. If you will sign them up, yes, Yaldo, then we will address everything at that time.
Absolutely. Mr. Morales, if you could just send me the plea paperwork whenever is convenient for you, and I'll get Mr. Peterson's.
Absolutely. I'll try and get that done by Friday.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Thank you. May I have David McGregory?
Thank you. May I be excused, Judge?
If that's the only purpose, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus David McGregory, cause numbers 2023-0C01310 and 2023 P file 02467. This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus. May I have announcement of counsel?
Daniel Alejandro Morales for the state of Texas, Your Honor, we're ready to proceed.
Good morning, everyone. Ana Yeldo with the El Paso County Public Defender Office here on behalf of Mr. David Tony McGregory, also ready.
You are David McGregory.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear or affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Does anybody know if that outstanding warrant out of Georgia is still pending?
No, Your Honor, I do not know.
Ms. Yaldo?
Your Honor, I have no information about any out-of-state warrants.
All right, well, one of his rap sheets showed that there could be a warrant as of January 17, 2022.
I have no information for the court, Your Honor.
All right, what do you have?
Your Honor, this is Mr. David Tony McGregory. Mr. McGregory has been in jail for the past 11 days. His bond amount currently is $8,500. He is currently charged with an assault and then 2 P files. One is a theft of property and the other is an indecent exposure. I don't have hardly any information about the 2 P files, but we did address the assault in front of the jail magistrate a few weeks back. Mr. McGregory is 23 years old. He's a United States citizen. He's originally from Detroit. He's a 2018 graduate of Osborne High School in Detroit. Mr. McGregory is not working. He's never worked. He has some disabilities and he gets $750 monthly from a Social Security disability check. I don't believe he's been receiving it since he's been in the jail. If Mr. McGregory is released, he would go to the Opportunity Center. Unfortunately, he's not from here. There isn't anywhere else for him to go. As far as his criminal history, the only thing I've been able to confirm is he does have a drug conviction out of El Paso from a couple of months ago. Our office also represented him on that charge. He does have some mental health concerns, including schizophrenia and ADHD. I am working with Ms. Kohler so that he can get seen by the jail clinic and get him on the medication that he needs to be on. Right now, I don't imagine the court will grant a full PR bond, but we're asking for a reduction to whatever the court sees appropriate here. If the court is not able to reduce, we are working with Mr. McGregory to get him the mental health help that he needs that will hopefully help with these types of offenses. Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Morales.
Your Honor, Mr. McGregor does have a history out of Georgia. He has at least one other prior felony drug possession case, which he was convicted on. He also has a theft charge on his record, which he earned while he was on probation, which resulted in his probation being revoked from that felony drug case. I'm seeing a history of mostly drug possession and let me see, what was the other one? The other charge was false statements or writings concealing of facts and fraudulent documents. Nothing resulting in a conviction, but they were on his record. I imagine he might still be wanted in Georgia, though I do not have any information about a specific record. He appears to have history out of, I'm trying to see the location here. Possibly Michigan as well, which would include which would include nothing of note, unfortunately.
All right. Do you have the reports on the indecent exposure?
No, Your Honor, the case has not been presented to our office yet. We would need to request it from the law enforcement agency.
All right. Without knowing anything further on that, I don't know that I'd like to address the bond on that case. On the assault, the court will give him a split bond of 500 surety and 1,000 PR. With the conditions, Mr. Gregory, that you report to all hearings, you maintain current contact information with CJC, you report to CJC regularly, you use no illegal substances, you commit no new offenses, and you reside at the Opportunity Center. Any violation of those conditions will result in a warrant for your arrest being issued. You can take up the bond on the other case with the jail magistrate if they wish to address it before the reports are filed.
Okay,
Anything further?
No, Your Honor, nothing from the defense. Thank you so much.
Nothing further from the state.
All right. May I have Ms. Franco, please? Court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Elizabeth Franco, cause numbers 2022-0C0 5491 and 2022-0C0 3409. This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus. May I have an announcement of counsel?
Daniel Alejandro Morales for the state of Texas, Your Honor, we're ready to proceed.
Ana Yaldo with the El Paso County Public Defender Office here on behalf of Miss Elizabeth Franco, also ready.
You are Elizabeth Franco?
Yes, Judge.
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Judge.
Go ahead, Miss Yaldo.
Thank you, Judge. This is Miss Elizabeth Franco. She has been in the jail for the past 9 days. Her current bond amount is $2,750. Ms. Franco is a U.S. citizen. She's 43 years old. She is a graduate of Socorro High School. Currently, she's not working, but she is doing volunteer work, which I believe she was doing the last time we were in front of Your Honor a few months back. If she's to be released, she would live at 225 North Seville, Apartment 1, here in El Paso. One thing that we did want to address with the court, and I have addressed with Ms. Franco, is that her problem seems to be reporting for hearings. And so she has assured me if she is released, she will check her phone and basically connect to Wi-Fi once a day so that she can see any messages and emails and calls that I have made to her. Right now, we are asking for a full PR bond on these two. They're resisting arrest charges. Ms. Franco also has 2 assault charges that are both P files, one from August 2022 and one from November 2022. I did want to ask the district attorney, the assaults are connected, each of the assaults are connected to each of the resisting charges. They're both from the same incidents. So I did want to ask the district attorney where those charges are, just so we can hopefully move forward on everything. Again, we are asking for a full PR bond for Ms. Franco. She does not have the money to post for a bond right now. Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Morales.
Your Honor, I'm going through the assaults right now. It appears they have not been requested by our office or they have not been turned over from the law enforcement agency, so that will have to be done to bring them in. However, I do want to bring up again Ms. Franco's prior history. She does have a ag assault with a deadly weapon that she was convicted on back in 2020. There's also been prior thefts that have been in her past. Of course, the pending assaults as well as the present charges before Your Honor. We do have concerns about her tendencies, much aside from the reporting.
Yes. Ms. Franco, you have failed to show up to your court hearings twice. Each time I let you out on PR bond, you failed to show up.
Yes, Judge, I didn't have internet access. There's no excuse. I should check daily.
No, there isn't.
No, I understand, Judge. I apologize.
There are places that you can easily go to that have internet access.
Yes, Judge.
You were warned that missing any of the hearings would cause a warrant for your arrest to be issued. You also have a very long history of violent offenses, so I'm concerned for your neighbors.
Yeah,
And since you're not employed, I don't really see a reason for you to be out on bond. So at this time, the court is going to deny your bond. Anything further?
May I say something, Judge? There's a community center that I can walk down to. It's about 1.5 miles from where I live, so that way I can get internet to report. I can report on a daily. I do have pets at home that I care
And
for.
why didn't you go to that community center the 2 times that you've already missed court?
I should have, ma'am, Judge,
Exactly.
Ben and Shelley.
Anything further, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing from the state.
My bond gave to find out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that's it for me.
Okay,
Maybe.
you may be excused. Yes.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful
May I
day.
have Robert Argumanis? Good morning, Mr. Lemke.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you this morning?
I'm good, thank you. Annex?
Let me call Judge and see what the issue is.
Okay. Okay, they're coming back in. Okay,
Hello, Your Honor. Can you hear us?
yes, we can hear you.
Sorry about that. Something happened on our end, I'm assuming.
Okay, may I have Robert Argumanis?
Yes, ma'am. Coming right up.
Thank you. Mr. Lemke, have you talked to Mr. Morales about this case yet?
Judge, I talked to him not about today's bond here, but I talked about the other prosecutor before about the case, and we weren't able to reach an agreement on a plea or anything in this case.
All right, court calls the case of the state of Texas versus Robert Argumanis, cause number 2017-0C02981.
This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster. Guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus.
May I have announcement of counsel?
Daniel Alejandro Morales for the state of Texas, Your Honor, we're ready to proceed.
And Your Honor, Jason Lemke, I have a defendant ready to proceed.
You are Robert Argumanis.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear affirm testimony may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what do you have, Mr. Lemke?
Judge, on this case, my client's a U.S. citizen. His date of birth is March 6, 1994. The last address I have from him is 151 South Prado Road, apartment 206, El Paso, Texas, 79907. And Your Honor, I did file, as soon as I got the court setting, I know that he was taken into custody. I did file a motion to release defendant as said PR bond. His bond is currently at 1,000, and my client's not able to afford to bond out. And I respectfully ask the court if we could have the court could set a PR bond on this matter if we can get out, Judge. And he's not a flight risk, Judge. I know that it was issued, he didn't appear, but I don't know what happened at that time he didn't appear, but I'll tell my client to appear to the next court hearing and comply with any conditions the court puts on my regarding my client.
My records show that he failed to appear twice already, April of 2021, and then again December of 2022. And the only way we get him back is when he's arrested. What's the problem showing up to court, Mr. Argumanis?
I had done my court for the Zoom calls, but I know for December I did miss because my brother had passed away, so I did go to his funeral. And that is my fault.
Do you think of contacting the court and advising us?
I had tried, but I don't have a phone also, so it's kind of hard, but now I do have a phone.
Mr. Morales, do you have anything?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
All right. Where are you employed, Mr. Argumanis?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a tattoo artist.
You're a what?
Tattoo artist?
For yourself or for someone else?
I'm self-employed, but I do work at shops.
All right. I am going to give Mr. Argumanis a split bond, $500 surety and $500 PR, with conditions that you show up to all court hearings, you use no illegal substances, you report to CJC, you maintain current contact information with them, and you commit no new offenses. Any violations of those conditions will cause a warrant for your arrest to be issued immediately. Mr. Lemke, we're going to set this case immediately and get this case moving once and for all. Anything further?
Mr. Lemke, if you could please call me after the hearing, I need to speak with you regarding this matter.
Okay, no problem, Mr. Morales.
Thank you.
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you. And I'll talk, and as soon as my client gets out, Judge, I'll have him contact me and then make sure he shows up for the next court hearing.
Yes, you will be emailed a court hearing here very soon.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Okay, then everybody may be excused except for Glenn and Maria, please.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, ask Diana to keep tabs on Miss Franco. If they're not going to work it out, then maybe we can reconsider her bond.
Yes, Judge.
Anything up?
I don't have anything, Judge. I let you know about the juror letters, and I think that's all I had to tell you.
Okay, my guess is, hold on a minute. There. My guess is it'll be kind of slow these days that Rihanna is out, so it should be okay. I'm gonna go ahead now that I've got my tablet working and get the chronos done. So if you need anything, just reach out.
Yes, Judge.
Have a good day.
And you too,
All
and
right.
I'll be sure to keep you informed of anything that goes on here.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. We'll
right,
see you.
Judge.
Bye, Maria.